London, 1903. Oh, hold on. That's loud. That's... Well, I was correct in my summation then. This is where the printing press created by Master Counterfeiter Prescott was hidden. There must be 2,000 counterfeit notes here. If all these had entered circulation, the Bank of England would have been severely undermined. Now we have only to wait and catch the bird returning to its nest. You think this man Prescott will return here? No, he was killed. It is his murderer I mean to catch. Okay, well maybe this wasn't as cozy as it looked on the, the thumbnail made it look cozy, but it seems like we might be dealing with a mystery one here. It is his murderer I mean to catch, James Winter, alias Killer Evans, known to have shot 3 men in the States. Well, if our Wild West friend tries to live up to his nickname, I'll be ready for him. I have my revolver. Good old Watson. Hang on, is this... Stay where you are, Mr. Evans. If you value your life, you have a gun trained on you, and Scotland Yard will be with us in a few moments. I would advise surrender. Is this supposed to be Sherlock Holmes? Well. Oh, yep. I guess you've been one too many for me, Mr. Holmes. Saw through my game, I suppose, and played me for a sucker from the first. Well, sir, I hand it to you. You have me beat, and... Watson! You're not hurt, Watson? For God's sake, say that you are not hurt. It's nothing, Holmes. It's merely a scratch. Examine for yourself. It is just a flesh wound in my thigh. You were right. It is quite superficial. Is Killer Evans? Yes. A clear case of self-defense on your part, dear fellow. Perhaps it is just as well that it should end this way. If he had killed you, I would not have let him get out of this room alive. He retires to keep bees, but clearly something draws him out of retirement. Ooh. Yeah, is that basically what this game is like? I didn't read anything, by the way. I'm just playing these, like, seeing them. So I'm assuming that Holmes and Watson retire and they raise bees together. Holmes, I do wish you would stop that. Stop what, precisely? Ruminating over my injury. You said yourself it is a flesh wound, quite superficial. I'll be back on my feet again in no time. Oh, is it canon? I didn't know that. I don't know a lot about Sherlock Holmes. I've seen the old miniseries from, I think, the 80s. That was like my favorite Sherlock Holmes. What was the actor's name? Jeremy something. I think it was Jeremy something. I've read the stories a bunch of times. Oh, where would one start if I was starting out reading Sherlock Holmes? Like, what's the first book that you'd recommend starting on? I'll be back on my feet again. No time, you must stop worrying. Jeremy Brett, yeah. He did such a good job. I was doing no such thing. I was considering an entirely different matter. I may not be a master of observation, but I have known you long enough to think otherwise, my dear fellow. There must be some way for me to help Watson. Making a close observation of him will be a good place to start. I just realized I should put my phone on vibrate so it doesn't go off. Okay, so now we can click things. Aha, the remains of Watson's dinner. From the color of the sauce and a distinct smell, I think this once held a portion of Mrs. Hudson's quite delightful curried lamb. A delicious dish, which has sometimes even induced me to overindulge. However, it is quite spicy and salty. I have just observed something important. I should enter my brain attic later in order to see if I can make any deductions. They meet in a study in Scarlet, but that's more of a novella than a short story. Ah. I could take down the dirty dish to my housekeeper, Mrs. Hudson, but I feel that would set a bad precedent. She may expect me to do the same again in the future. God. A newly washed glass beaker. Don't want to carry around delicate glassware unless I have a specific purpose for it in mind. I know, imagine. A well-used set of chemist's equipment. The solutions to some of my most complex cases have been wrought here, over Bunsen burner and beaker. Converse. Okay, so this is what I do to... What would happen if I tried to talk to it? My loyal beakers, my beloved Bunsen burner, my most excellent test tubes. Do you have some experiment to perform, Holmes? Not at present. An eclectic selection of books. Once Watson's novels and my own reference books were carefully delineated, but after many years of living together, they are hopelessly muddled. There are enough loose books and strange places about the flat, no need to add more. I am quite proud of our little library, Watson. Books do make a place feel like home, don't they? A single silk embroidered slipper in an oriental style. I lost its partner many years ago. Since then it has been used as a receptacle for tobacco. I do not need to carry it around with me. Hello, slipper. Holmes, are you perhaps somewhat bored? Bored? No, why would you think that? A print of Turner's The Great Fall of... Is it Rackenback? I don't remember. Reichenbach. That's one of the books, isn't it? That's one of the stories. It has been there since Watson and I moved here, but has taken on additional meaning in the course of our adventures. We could go back to Switzerland, you know, for a holiday. I imagine it is rather nice if one is not fleeing for one's life. That may be, however, I would prefer not to. It is my practice to keep my unread correspondence firmly secured to the mantelpiece with a jackknife. I find it to be an efficient filing method, but not one generally advocated. Yeah. Can I pick that up? As I take the knife, all of my letters would be liable to go astray. I am going to answer them eventually. A memento of one of my early cases. It is a photograph of the late opera singer Irene Norton. Irene Norton nee Adler, the woman who was able to utterly evade my traps. I am always rather pleased that she did. Okay, what else can we mess around with? Alright, same dialogue. Gasogene? What is that? This is Dr. Watson's gasogene. It is quite a clever device. The lower chamber contains water. The upper contains tartaric acid and sodium bicarbonate. The two chemicals react, producing carbon dioxide and carbonating the water. For some reason, he prefers to drink his water fizzing with bubbles. There are usually some glasses here, but they are absent. I will have to improvise. Ah! Is he gonna... Oh, can I pick that up? I do not want to move it. Well, I was thinking the beaker, you know, would work. I've always felt this gasogene is a very neat little device. It is only a shame that I am not more partial to what it produces. You should try it, Holmes. Carbonated water is very healthful. It is good for dyspepsia? Well, what have we here? Some pink pansies have been delivered to our door. There's a handwritten card on a rather fine cardstock. A Victoria's Soda Stream. Yeah. Yeah, it really is. The penmanship is decidedly female. However, it has a certain lax form, which I associated with those in the medical field. Dear John, wishing you a swift recovery. With warmest regards, Rebecca. Dear John? Dear John? How presumptive. Stupid flowers. Did you say something, Holmes? I said that these flowers are stupid. Aha, that's what I thought. My intimate companion and biographer, Dr. John H. Watson. Shall we see what can be observed about him? I should visit my brain attic afterwards to see what deductions can be made based on my findings. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. His look of concentration is occasionally interrupted by him wetting his lips and clearing his throat slightly. I have just observed something important. Alright. His book? It is a yellow-back novel entitled The Lady Detective Makes It Right. There's a picture of a young lady examining a footprint on the front and an advertisement extolling the virtues of cocoa on the back. He was shot in the left thigh. The evidence is mostly gone. His blood-stained trousers have been burned. The bandages are not visible under his clothes. I can tell from the way that he sits that it is still causing him some discomfort. Poor Watson. He has had quite enough gunshot wounds for one lifetime. Holmes, you were brooding again. I am touched that you are so affected, deeply touched, but I hate to see you keep berating yourself. Let's see, I think that might be it. Alright, let's go to this, filing. Is this where we're supposed to go? Oh! Welcome to my brain attic! Yeah, not his first injury, unfortunately. I like to think of my mind as a space full of well-chosen materials, information which I can draw on in order to complete my work. And there actually were lady detective novels. Oh wow, very interesting. I keep a record here of people who are significant to me, represented by portraits on the walls. This blackboard is very important. I use it to combine observations I have made in order to make deductions. Metaphorically, of course. Not exactly considered high-quality entertainment. Mycroft. What we got? Wait, what? Oh. I wish I could go into my head like this, though. My brother Mycroft. He is my superior in observation and deduction, although he does not have the energy or ambition to be a detective. Instead, he uses his capacity for storing facts in the aid of the government. Indeed, it could be said that occasionally he is the British government. What steps would you take in this situation, Mycroft? A nonsense proposition. He would not place himself in this situation. Oh no, I couldn't take down the portrait of my dearest brother. Watson, he should not be here by rights. This is a place of facts, of logic. He is a distracting factor. Grit in a sensitive instrument. Yet I find that I want him here, all the same. I prefer to talk to the genuine article. Knowledge of the solar system. I have been meaning to get rid of that. It clutters up the place. I hope you realize that you are taking up valuable space in a finely tuned machine. No, there's no use. I'll only pop back again. Try as I might, there's no removing it. No removing it now it's here. Okay, Watson has eaten curried lamb. Watson keeps clearing his throat. Deductions. Facts you discover will appear in the box below. You can combine them to make deductions and further your investigation. I have some important news to share with Watson when I know that he is quite comfortable. I should examine Watson in the room for clues about how I may be able to help him, and then combine any facts I discover to make deductions. Watson has eaten the curry, and now he is clearing his throat, often licking his lips. I conclude that he is rather thirsty. Hardly my most illuminating deduction, I grant you. However, the mechanism remains the same when I am solving much more complex problems. I seek out information and look for connections. Yeah, he didn't know the Earth moved around the sun and felt it didn't matter as the info wasn't useful to his mind. I should find him something to drink. I could ring for Mrs. Hudson, but Watson would find it more charming if I were to find him something to drink myself. Alright, so we don't have anything for this one. Watson is thirsty. I can tell that Watson is thirsty, so we gotta figure out how to get him something to drink. Imagining a blackboard within my mind and sorting out information on it is acceptable to me. Alright, there's nothing else to look at in here, so let's figure out how to get Watson something to drink. Which I would assume I really want to pick up the beaker. Yes, I will take the beaker. Oh, okay, you have to combine everything first. Now, how do I use an item? Or maybe I can just do that. I hope you will momentarily forgive me for casting aside the diaphanous fourth wall which exists between us, but you must take the beaker from out of my inventory and then use it with the gas gene. Alright, how do I... Oh, okay, that's... Oh, look at that! It's pretty cool. There, I now have a beaker full of sparkling water. Does anyone like sparkling water? I'm not a fan. It's very popular in New York. When I went to New York City like a few years ago, there was sparkling water everywhere. Like at all the restaurants. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want... Like, if you're gonna make my water sparkling, you gotta flavor it too. And I'm not talking about like LaCroix. I don't like LaCroix. It's not enough flavor for me. If I'm gonna drink something carbonated, it's gotta be like a soda. I'm literally drinking seltzer right now. Oh, Stardance. Was it you that was talking about the spackle back when I was playing the Lake DLC? It was some kind of like meat. I'm pretty sure it was you. But I have something to bring up about that. Nah, it's gross. Hate when you get it expecting normal water too. Oh, that's the worst. It's worse when you're not expecting it. It's just like a shock to your system. A Scrapple, that's what it was. The other night when I was scrolling through TikTok, No, when I opened up TikTok, that was what was so funny about it. I opened up TikTok to somebody showing Scrapple what it was. And I gotta say, it did not look good. It looked kind of green. I don't know why it was green, but or maybe it was bad lighting or something. It looked green. I think it was probably bad lighting because it looked normal once she fried it. But yeah, I just thought it was really funny that it was just a couple of days after that stream. So maybe my phone was listening to me. Yeah, maybe it was a grayish color and like the lighting made it gave it like a green look. So it did not look good. But like seeing it after it was fried, it didn't look too much different than like Spam. So I don't know. I would probably still try it. But she said not to look up what was in it because then you would not want to eat it. So I probably wouldn't. I would just go in ignorant and just try it. All right. We've got Watson's water. Do we just... Here you are, my dear fellow. You seem to be thirsty after your curried lamb. Apologies for the container. Mrs. Hudson seems to have purloined all our glasses. It is clean, I assure you. I mean, scrap is in the name for a reason. I don't even know why I didn't make that connection. Scrap, scrapple. That's really, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And adding the scrapple makes it sound less bad than just eating scrap. Alright. Apologies for... Oh, I just read this. Thank you, Holmes. You are right. I am more thirsty than I realized. I will trust you to have avoided cross-contamination when it comes to your scientific equipment. Excuse me, and that it is not an attempt to poison me. Oh, you love Scrapple Brie. I'd definitely try it. If I ever get the chance. Well, I have done that for him at least. Perhaps I should stop delaying. There is something important I need to speak to him about. Oh, okay, so we need to talk to him. Where are the glasses which... Have you written any stories lately? Okay, well, in our mind thing, we had to discuss something important, so I guess we should do that. Wait a moment. The thing I wish to say to Watson is quite significant. Am I ready to take this step? No, I will reconsider. Do you want to say something, Holmes? Not at the moment. Let's ask about... Let's just ask other stuff, and then we'll get to the important stuff. Where are the glasses which usually reside by the gasogene? One of them was broken in your chemistry experiment last week. The rest are currently being cleaned. Have you written any stories lately? I've had some attempts at jotting down some historical fiction, but I'm struggling to find a home for them. I may make an attempt at writing up more of your cases. The affair of the dancing men would be popular, don't you think? It certainly had a touch of the sensational about it. Have you ever considered getting a dog, Watson? Sometimes. I am fond of dogs. They require considerable care, however. Indeed, yet they are loyal beasts with excellent noses. You remember old Toby, kept by Mr. Sherman? Oh, is that a real like a Sherlock Holmes story, or? If we had a little more space, and I thought Mrs. Hudson would allow it, I may have thought to buy him and have him here with us. Oh, nice. So there's going to be a lot of references here. But now both man and dog are long dead. Oh hum. Such is the way of things. Did you enjoy your curried lamb? And they did borrow Toby on occasion. Aw, cute. Yes, very much. Mrs. Hudson may still have some available if you are hungry. You must eat, Holmes. The case is over. Again, I will say, humph. Alright, let's get the important stuff out of the way. Watson, we must discuss something important. Earlier, you presumed that I was berating myself for allowing you to come to harm. While my thoughts have turned that way often ever since you were injured, it was not what I was thinking of in that moment. Rather, I was trying to decide how to share some important news with you. I have decided to retire. I kind of mixed decided and retire into the same thing. Hold on, I need to make it where I can see the game audio. Retire? Yes, to sequester myself away on the farm of my dreams. I have a notion to take up beekeeping. Give up your detective work? Surely not. You were simply upset because I was hurt. In a week or two... No, I am quite certain. In fact, I purchased a cottage and some land in Sussex several months ago. I do not crave the thrill of detection as I once did. It is a task for a young man, and I am no longer a young man. It is time to move on. But what am I to do? Whatever you like, Watson. I am not your keeper. It is a rather large cottage. Holmes? You know that I will never tire of your company. A countryside retirement sounds idyllic. Yet this is very sudden. I am not certain I am ready for that kind of seclusion. I still have a few decades worth of a perfectly respectable medical career ahead of me, and people here who rely on me. Once I fail to supply the curious adventures which thrill you and provide you with material for your sordid magazine stories, you lose interest in me. Is that it? Of course not. You know that is not true. Or perhaps you have set your sights on marrying the sensible and pretty matron who brings you flowers and writes you sweet nothings. If you propose, I am certain she will agree. She has not been subtle about her intentions. Oh my god, he's so jealous. Holmes, you are being childish. Yes, I suppose I am. Right? He's not subtle about his jealousy. Of course I will come with you if you need me. If you ask me to join you, I will. No, I cannot ask that of you. You are loyal and true to a fault, my dear, dear Watson, and I am certain that you would give up your own passions to join me in mine. If you did, a seed of resentment would be sown, which might drive us apart in the end. I could not endure that. It seems that we are being drawn along different paths then. Yes. Strange, isn't it? Yes, very strange. They were wonderful years, weren't they? I loved every moment. Watson, they were glorious. We were glorious. You won't vanish on me, will you, Holmes? You won't simply disappear without telling me you were going? I could not bear that. No, I think I have a little more sense these days to engage in those kinds of theatrics. Should you need me, Watson, you will find me in Sussex, keeping bees and reading philosophy. You will always be very, very welcome. Sussex, 1920. Created by Jabbage. I wonder if this is the end of the demo. Or if this is just the actual start of the game. Watson? Good afternoon, Holmes. I must apologize for turning up out of the blue like this. I know I should have written to you ahead of time. My ship came in this morning and I found myself unceremoniously deposited back in England. I couldn't face the hubbub of London. I really am dog-tired, and you do have rather a good track record of perking me up when I'm back from a war. So I hoped, if it is at all inconvenient, then you must tell me. I am certain I can find alternative accommodation. Hey, Borny. Welcome in. Watson, kindly stop talking nonsense. Come inside. Get out of that uniform and make yourself at home. I like how the frames have, like, flowers around them. You must stay for as long as you like, my dear Watson. Watson is by my side again. I must ensure that he is able to rest and recuperate, and find a way to tell him. Well, many things. But how? Some grand gesture, perhaps? A picnic on the clifftops? He would like that. The perfect moment of peace and tranquility. After the bloodshed he has seen, all the lives he has saved and not managed to save. However, I have a sense that I am currently not in a fully developed world, but a mere demonstration. Perhaps a full picnic will not be possible at this time? Oh my god. I will content myself with attempting to fetch some honey from my hives. It was the game basically saying, this is a demo. Is this the same painting? A print of Turner's The Great Fall of Reichenbach. Watson accuses me of morbidity for keeping it here. I feel it does a man no harm to look at his own death once in a while. My Stradivarius, purchased at a pawnbroker's in Tottenham Court Road for 55 shillings. Is he gonna play it? Probably so much now. Oof. Actually, perhaps I had better get on with the matter at hand. How do I put it back? Oh, okay. That was nice, though. That sounds like a fairly dangerous proposition. I was just trying to use... Oh. Perhaps when it is dark. Okay. I always find this style of lamp slightly disquieting. I was almost killed by one once, but Watson can tell you the story better than I. By the lamp? Oh, we're gonna need the beekeeping suit in a minute. Various dried flowers and herbs. I was exploring possible uses of botanical pigments in medieval Northumbrian monasteries. Dr. Johnson once noted that time, with all its certainty, moves slowly to him whose whole employment is to watch its flight. One does not need to worry about time racing forwards with this particular clock. I removed the pendulum after finding the noise irritating. If you hear any ticking, it is coming from the clock behind you on the opposite wall. A device for playing sound recorded on a disc made of shellac. Lurk gonna put tea on. Hope the bees aren't too riled up. Thank you for the lurk, Borny. and hope you have something nice for tea. Although acoustically, it is a Platonian shadow of true music, I must say that I enjoy putting on a record in the evenings and enjoying a concert in the comfort of my own home. I want to see if I can play it. Oh, he's dancing.
Be my little baby bumblebee. Buzz around, keep a buzzing round. Bring home all the honey, love to me. Little bee, little bee. Let me spend the happy hours roving with you amongst the flowers. And when we get where
I decided it was only fitting to update the old regal monogram from Baker Street. Of course, we have a new monarch now, George the... Well, that's... V is 6th? Or 5th? I'm not good with Roman numerals. Interesting choice of song, I know. However, letter G does not lend itself well to calligraphy by bullets. 5th. Yeah, I thought V was 5. That was nice. Oh, we got a mouse hole? Have y'all been keeping up with the rat hole, by the way? I forgot where it was, but there's somebody that did a 3D print. Well, it's... So, I don't know, it was this thing going around on TikTok, within the last week. It was basically some sidewalk had been paved recently, and I guess it actually, I think, ended up being a squirrel hole. There was just a indentation in the cement where it looked like a rat had been. And I guess people thought it was either dead or... because it was just the shape of the rat, but it was probably a squirrel. Because a squirrel's tail would probably look similar when all the fur is bunched up, but... yeah, so it was just this rat-shaped hole in the cement, and people were, like, leaving candles and all kinds of things around it. And I saw somebody made their own, like, mold that they used to make their own rat hole. But yeah, I don't know. I see mouse hole now, and I think of that. Yeah. What a wild world we live in. A very friendly and intelligent pair of mice live in there. Watson likes to joke that he swears one of them plays the violin. Oh my god! It wasn't a Jell-O mold. They actually made like a mold to put in concrete and make their own, like on their step. That is a reference to The Great Mouse Detective. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. I love that. That's such a cute little reference. I loved The Great Mouse Detective. Oh my god. Oh, Ratigan. Oh, Ratigan. Love it. Alright, I think I've looked at everything in here, so I think it's time to... The protective hat and gloves I use for tending my bees. Let's put it on. I don't know which ways On further reflection, I should wait to put these on until I am near the hives. I'll take them with me for now. Alright, so door to outside, door to kitchen. I want to go in the kitchen. Well, we're probably going to bring the honey in, so we'll go ahead and we'll go outside. Oh, where's the beehive, though? Maybe it's this way? Oh, Toby the Third! Oh my god. There is a lot of love in this game. I honestly, like... I'm excited to play the full one. Honey extractor. Alright, so do I... They are not comfortable to walk around in. Oh my god. Okay, so I gotta get right up to this thing. Tilda. Wonder who Tilda is. Alright, I'm close enough now. My extractor designed to drain honey from a beehive frame. Oh, I'm gonna need the smoker, aren't I? A stainless steel cylinder attached to some bellows. Yeah, I'm gonna need to pick that up. I'll walk here. Use it how precisely? No, I thought I would need to use it for... Come now, be specific. What do you wish me to use the extractor with? What? How do I... Oh, I gotta pick it up. I gotta pick it up. I forgot about the picking up element. I refuse to put that in my extractor. It is delicate. It is a delicate machine. Okay, well, I'll just put it there for now. So... This device is best used on the table. Wait, so that's just the extractor. Where's the actual... I hear bees. Honey extractor. What else? I have the beekeeping suit. Don't be absurd. So where are the bees then? Oh wait, I'm getting closer. Oh! Okay, okay. That was just where I stored the honey, I guess. Oh, not that. No! I don't know how to put stuff back. It has been known for time out of mind that bees are calmed by smoke. The precise mechanism is a matter of hot debate in apian circles. I am of the opinion that bees communicate danger by releasing subtle smells to one another, which the smoke interrupts. I wrote a short monograph on the subject if you're interested. Do you like jazz? It only takes a light touch. Or are you asking me if I like jazz, or was that a reference to something? Sorry, sometimes I don't pick up on or are you saying the bees sound like jazz? I don't know, sorry. Bee movie reference. You know, Tom got me with a Bee movie reference, gosh, ages ago. And I have never seen the Bee movie. And I 100% believed it. Tom like dropped some kind, I think it was like text to speech. And it was some quote that was supposed to be a fact about bees. And I fully believed it. I don't know if it ever got clipped or anything. But yeah, I've never seen the Bee movie. So sorry, I didn't get the reference. But I assumed it was a reference. It only takes a light touch.
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way that a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyways. Because bees don't care what humans think is impossible.
That was it. And I just listened to it. I was like, "Aw." I thought the fat little body up the ground was cute. Yeah, and I fully was like, "Oh, you know, I didn't know. I was totally ignorant." Sorry, I could bear. I hope that played all right. I have my headset, my earbuds turned down like so low right now that I can barely hear any alerts. It only takes a light touch. I do not want them to be stressed. The smoke has calmed them for a short time. Do not worry, they are not harmed. Let's get some honey. There is a full tray of honey. There's a full tray of excess honey here. I will take it with me. Oh, I guess we're done. Because he took the, what's this? An empty, clean jam jar. I think I recognize it as one from my own kitchen. Please don't take that, Mr. Holmes. I need to catch my newts. Of course, I understand. My young neighbor, Miss Tilda. She seems to be poised as if to cast her little fishing net into a pond. However, there is no pond. I can only conclude that in a full version of this game, she will be in another location more suited to her favorite pastime. Oh, Miss Tilda, the niece of my old friend, Miss Hunter. The stains on her dress are characteristic of the meadow to the north of my cottage. The dirt under the fingernails suggests she has been digging. There are no calluses of the kind I would associate with daily piano practice. So that means she's not practicing the piano. Her flower crown is made from the yellow yarrow which grows to the north of my cottage. Oh, wait. Her hair is untied and unbrushed. Do you know how I harvest honey? Would you like me to teach you how I harvest honey? Yes, please, Mr. Holmes. I want to be a beekeeper when I grow up. I thought you wanted to be a fisherman when you grew up. That was last week. Very well. First, I put on my protective hat and gloves. The bees are not generally aggressive, but I wish to avoid direct contact with them. Then I use a smoker to make the bees calm. Only a little. I do not wish to cause them distress. Inside the hives, there are wooden frames that hold the honeycombs, where the bees store their honey. When I see that a frame is full, I remove it from the hive. I scrape away the protective wax which the bees have made. I then place the frame in my extractor. This spins the frame and causes the honey to fall away. I can then filter the honey and put it in jars or bottles ready to be eaten. Yummy! May I have that jam jar? Sorry, Mr. Holmes, I need that jam jar. It's very, very important. When I catch a newt, I need to put it in there so I can take it home to the tank where it's going to live. I see. That is important. I would not want to deprive you of your newt. If I were to find you some kind of specimen of natural history, which is more interesting than a newt, would you surrender the jam jar to me? Better than a newt? That sounds very tricky, Mr. Holmes. I enjoy a challenge. You're on. Oh, I thought it was going to show his dialogue. Yes, I made a flower crown, and there's a badger set there. I want to go back after dark and wait to see them come out, but my auntie won't let me on my own. Perhaps she would permit me to take you, if you do not object to the presence of an old man who is not quite as adept at crouching in the dark for hours as he used to be. That would be wonderful, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Holmes? Yes, Miss Tilda? Are you magic? No, as I think we have discussed before, I simply make deductions based on observations. I don't know. I still think you might be magic. Do you remember how I harvest honey? First you wear your hat and gloves. Yes, good. Then you use smoke on the bees so they're calm. Yes. Then you take a frame out of the hive. Then you put the frame in the extractor. Correct again. Then you pull the handle on the extractor to make it spin. And then you can put the honey in a jam jar. Correct on all counts. You are an excellent student, Miss Tilda. You've been neglecting your piano practice. Someone who practices the piano daily develops a very distinctive musculature in their hands, which you do not have. I don't like playing the smelly old piano. I want to study plants and animals when I grow up, not be a musician. I felt the same way as a boy. All the same, it is good to be able to play an instrument. I think you will be pleased if you persevere. Well, we know what she's doing, so goodbye. Goodbye, Mr. Holmes. Alright, so let's go put the honey that we've collected into the extractor. I like the little pictures they show for, like, when he's doing something. The honey is now in the extractor, ready to be drained into a container. I will take the empty tray with me. So do I need to go put the tray back into the beehive? Oh, I'm gonna need to put this back on, I think. It has been oh. Right. Smoke these bees, put the tray back in. I'll put this back in the hive. Alright. There you are, my friends. Okay. So now we've got to find her something more interesting than a newt. Because we're going to need that jar. Noble hound, the finest canine in all England, with the best nose. Toby, third of that name. Walton's, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're having a nice Monday. Gosh, I say, that's a little rich. All true, of course. Would the great Sherlock Holmes accept anything less in this loyal hound? Oh, I love the dog. So cute. Can we... Now there, my boy. Would you like a cuddle? Not right now, Holmes. There might be a cat watching, and I'd never hear the end of it. Ah, well, I suppose you never were a lapdog. He is a useful pup in many ways, an excellent guard dog, good in a scrap with an excellent nose, but you must be more specific. I wanted to pet him! I wanted, you know, can you pet the dog? Hello, master. Oh, do we want to let her play with Toby, maybe? Toby, if only you could speak. Oh, don't worry, master. You have that nice doctor fellow to talk to now, so you need not be lonely. Aw. I don't need conversation. I'm content with pats and belly rubs. Oh. You're a good boy. Well, naturally, and I think you are a good human, master, especially when you give me bones. It's a pity that, for all your intelligence, you can't understand me. Follow me, Toby. Of course, master. Will there be interesting things to smell? Cats to woof at? This is a dog for me. Oh, is he gonna follow us? Look! Okay, so... Is the dog good enough? Ah, no. Oh, maybe Toby's gonna find me an animal, maybe. I don't know. Can I walk? Let me see if I can walk further past the bees. Oh, it doesn't look like we can. Seeing if there's anything else to click on. Dr. John H. Watson, my stalwart biographer, intimate friend, and erstwhile partner in the art of detection. Watson's mustache. There are crumbs on his mustache. Toast, I believe. Clearly, he has been writing this morning. He has ink stains on his hands. Also, I observed him doing it. He is wearing his sturdiest boots, the ones he usually reserves for muddy walks. Alright, think that might be it. Excellent deduction. Hello, Kim. Welcome in. Watson, wake up. Hmm? How are you feeling, Watson? Very well, thank you. Your old war wound is not bothering you? No, I think this warm weather is good for it. What about you, Holmes? Your arthritis? Pfft, arthritis. Are you entirely sure I have arthritis? Yes, I am. I am sorry, Holmes. I don't mean to act like a mother hen. You cannot help being a Dr. Watson. I have a surprise for you. Oh, let me think. Am I ready to spring my surprise on Watson? No, not yet. We don't have the honey. We need the honey. Were you going to say something, Holmes? No, I will tell you later. You always say that. Did you enjoy your breakfast of buttered toast? It was wonderful. Martha baked such delicious bread. I have crumbs in my mustache, don't I? One or two. What were you writing this morning? You remember that business with Killer Evans in '02? Rather vividly, yes. I recall that you were shot. It was only a flesh wound, Holmes. Hardly left a scar. I am writing up the case as a story for publication. I know you were often dismissive of my literary efforts. I do not say you were a poor writer, Watson. I simply wish you would not pander so much to popular taste. Well, I would like to read you the draft this evening. Very well, provided you will accept my honest critique. Of course. You planned to go for a walk along the cliffs, but changed your mind. Holmes, you will never entirely convince me that you cannot read minds. There is no need to read minds when I can observe your boots. I had planned to go for a walk, but I remember the guillemots are fledging this time of year. Still chuckling at the flesh wound bit. Very Monty. Yeah, that's what I kept. Every time I read it, I thought of Monty Python. It's just a flesh wound. But your arm's gone. They nest precariously on the cliffs, hundreds of feet above the ocean swell. The tiny fledgling's first flight always involves a terrible leap off the edge. Most of the time, they catch the knack of it before they hit the bottom. Most of the time. I didn't want to watch. I have seen too many young things die after being forced from the nest too soon. Oh. I have no further deductions concerning Watson at the moment. How is your house? A medical practice in London. Looks like there's a space. Looks like there's two spaces after practice. I know it's a minor little flaw. I know most. They have been all mothballs and dust sheets since I left for France. To tell you the truth, Holmes, I have not been back there. Alright, let's say goodbye for now. I guess Toby the Third is just gonna follow us around. Alright, let's go to the kitchen. Maybe we'll find something. I must redo the paintwork before the winter. What's that? I thought I heard a cat purring. Uh-oh. Oh, Toby's gonna... Hodge, who I think I must begrudgingly consider to be my cat, or else I am her human. She turned up one day and has not left me, at least. And how are you today, Puss? Your studies of the local rodentia are proceeding well? Can I pet? Oh, but she is sleeping and looks so peaceful I don't wish to wake her. Besides, it would compromise her dignity. I love how respectful he is of the cat. That's how everybody should be. Oh, I can tell him to stay. Let's see, what have we got in the kitchen here? Martha. Oh, we can go up. Can we go upstairs? My old housekeeper, Martha, a stalwart woman with an iron will. She always smokes that particular pipe when she is in a bad mood. Her hands speak of decades of scrubbing and cleaning. I believe she was a scullery maid in her youth. She deserves a break. She deserves, a retirement. Her hair grew very thin many years ago, and so now she crops it short and wears a wig. Oh, whoops. I meant to... Oh, Daisy. How can I make a... Oh, Martha, I'm planning a surprise picnic for Watson. What key components would you suggest are required? A surprise picnic, eh? This isn't secretly some scheme, is it? Scheme? You're not setting this up in order to capture a gang of counterfeiters or such like. No, I'm setting this up in order to enjoy a picnic. Ah, well, it was worth checking. I would have thought the location is very important. A quiet spot with a beautiful view, perhaps. You will need a hamper of food, naturally. I recall from his previous visits that the doctor is very partial to Mrs. Kumar's elderflower cordial. I imagine he would appreciate a bottle. However, Mr. Holmes, you know we are only in a demo, don't you? Well, naturally, the fact that I cannot leave the bee farm or go upstairs in my own house makes that abundantly clear. Perhaps you had better focus on something you can get here then. Some honey, perhaps? I really like the dialogue they put for the demo. Can you make a hamper of food for me? Certainly. When do you need it by? Lunchtime today. Mr. Holmes, I do not have time to drop everything, go to the shops, acquire additional food, and make you a picnic in time for lunch. Perhaps you can postpone your plans a few days? No, no, Mrs. Hunter, no. It is vital, it is paramount that Watson, that I will arrange the picnic hamper myself. Martha, where are my lock-picking tools? And why do you need those? It is simply a hobby, you know. I have written various monographs about how lax some modern forms of lock are, how easily the stilled cracksman can break them. It would make me glad I didn't just jump into the full game. Yeah, it's nice that they remind you, like, the things you can't do. Top drawer of your dresser, Mr. Holmes. And should you be clapped in the handcuffs and carted away, I wash my hands of the whole affair. Wait, did she say it was upstairs? Goodbye. Goodbye, sir. You will keep out of mischief, won't you? Alright, is there anything I can actually use in here? Ah, there's a phone. And a shovel. Ooh, I can dig. A print of The Shipwreck by Claude Joseph Vernet, who is my esteemed ancestor. It explores concepts of the sublime, the horrible, and powerful meeting the beautiful. And it sparks interest for the full game. Yeah, that's exactly what a demo should do. It should get you interested in playing the whole thing. I have always found it profoundly moving. An old-fashioned model, but it serves me well enough for keeping in touch with the world beyond my hermitage. I could use it to phone my brother Mycroft should I require his assistance. Ah, okay, so that's what it's for. I was using it recently to dig up flower beds in the front of the house. Mr. Holmes, would you please take that shovel out of my nice, clean kitchen? I never knew a man so slovenly in his habits. Will do. I think we're gonna need it. May I take this, Martha? I may need to exhume a body. Of course, Mr. Holmes. It doesn't belong in my nice, clean kitchen in the first place. Did you say exhume a body? Goodbye, Martha. Right. Let's see if we can call Mycroft. Hello, operator. The Diogenes Club, London, if you please. Yes, I'll hold. Ooh. Ooh, a golden shovel. I just saw that emote. My dear Sherlock, how can I be of assistance? How are you, I keep saying Minecraft, like Minecraft. How are you, Mycroft? And how is London? Also, what kind of name is Mycroft? I am well, and so is London. I find that retirement suits me. You were keeping yourself occupied? Certainly. I breakfast and read the paper from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock. From 10 until 1 o'clock, I take in the view from my window. For 3 whole hours, Mycroft? You do not find that dull? To anyone who wishes to study mankind, that is the spot. I see the whole gamut of society through that window. Very British name. Then I dine at the Ivy before heading to the, is that Diogenes? From 2:15 until 8:15. I see, a punishing schedule. And what are you doing with your dotage, little brother? The bees occupy my interest as much as the criminal world of London ever did. I completed a magnum opus on the subject, Practical Handbook of Bee Culture, with some observations upon the segregation of the queen. A riveting read, no doubt. I would like to ask your advice. How can I help? Oh, that's canon too? Nice. I need to obtain an empty jam jar. I need to obtain an empty jam jar. My neighbor Miss Tilda has one, but she's hoping to use it to keep newts in. She'll give me it, but only if I am able to trade her for something she finds more interesting than newts. Knowing the girl as I do, that might prove to be difficult. I see. Well, I would expect that in a full version of this game, that would take considerable amount of effort. Since this is merely a demo, perhaps you can find something in your living room which she would appreciate. The violin? Or the mouse, maybe. This is... okay. I have nothing to ask advice about at present. No? Oh, that is a pity. Goodbye, brother. Goodbye, Sherlock. Do call again. Alright, so we gotta... This is a demo, so we can't actually find anything more interesting than a newt. I think... I mean, there was a mouse. Can I talk to the mouse? Oh, am I talking to the dog? maybe if I stand here, because he's in the way of the mouse. Good day, my rodent lodgers. Oh, they came out! That was cute. Putting my hand in there will disturb the mice. So I'm guessing, did I give her the violin? Wait, creepy dog statue. What's this? A Staffordshire pottery dog. Watson bought it from a village fete. I detest it. No, I will not be taking that abomination against good taste anywhere. Ooh! Trilobite fossil, there we go. The fossilized remains of an extinct marine arthropod. I found it on the beach years ago. Yep, that's the thing. That's what we're getting. Okay. We got it. We got what we need. Okay. I have a present for you, Miss Tilda. For me? That's for me? It is the fossil of a trilobite, an extinct kind of sea creature. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. I love it. I love it so much. May I have the jam jar now? Of course. Jam jar received. Let's get our honey. Ooh, yummy. Do we give the honey to... Actually, wait. Oh, wow, look at this. There's so many more paintings. I must put together the perfect picnic for Watson. I require elderflower cordial, a hamper of picnic food, and a beautiful, peaceful place to enjoy them. Oh, wait, I can't select all these. I got Martha, I got Tilda. On my arrival to Fulworth, I engaged Martha as a housekeeper. I had expected a dull old lady, not a patch on the dear Mrs. Hudson who ran my household for so many years, and wished for her own retirement from me. Instead, I was delighted to find that Martha is quite the eccentric. She smokes a pipe, speaks like a sailor when inclined to do so, and is therefore very capable of keeping me in line. Despite her being under my employ, I think of her as a friend. She helped me in some of my espionage work during the war. I greatly enjoyed sparring with her. My young neighbor, Miss Tilda. She is the niece of one of my old clients. She has an all-consuming passion for the natural world. While I value her companionship, I worry sometimes that she does not have many friends her own age. My faithful hound, Toby the Third. What do you mean his portrait is larger than Watson's? Well, I'm certain Watson would not object too much. My elder brother, Mycroft, is 7 years my senior. Our difference in age meant that we did not spend a great deal of time together as children. He was off at school while I was still learning the rudiments of walking and talking. I still think we recognized in each other a shared mentality. It was he who taught me the deduction game. Indeed, he remains the master at it, yet for him it is just a game, while for me it was both art and science, a means to a livelihood. Mycroft remains the only one with whom I can discuss my thoughts at full luminance without keeping hold of the shutter. For much of his life, he held the British government's secrets in his head. However, now in retirement, he spends most of his time at the club he helped to found, the Diogenes. If I need his help and advice, I am able to telephone him. There he is, my Watson. He is supremely dear to me. That he entered my life when he did is proof enough of the goodness of Providence. Why is it so much easier to say those sort of things here than when he is standing in front of me? He took his degree in medicine in 1878 before studying further to become a surgeon with the army, just as the Second Afghan War broke out. That led him inexorably to the fatal Battle of Maiwand. He nearly died there of a bullet wound, or else of the enteric fever which followed. Returning to London to convalesce and living on a pittance of an army pension, he required someone to share the cost of lodgings. A mutual friend introduced him to a self-destructive young fellow who was trying to make his name as a consulting detective. I dare say we saved one another in a way, and from that moment our lives were bound up together. Sometimes we were parted, the obligation of married life called to him, or my vocation called to me. Thankfully, we always seemed to wind up thrown together again. In the war, I engaged in covert work while he returned to his roots as an army doctor. It was only in that long silence that I wondered if I would never hear from him again. Yet England is at peace, and he is with me again. I dare to hope there will be no more partings. I like this. I like all the little details, and how the room is more cluttered now. Or the attic. It looks like an attic. I'm not sure if we should... Watson. Look at... Holmes, I'm trying to sleep. Is it vital that you show me this? Not vital, perhaps, but... Alright, maybe we need to just... We got the honey, but I'm not really sure... I mean, it's just a demo, so we can't actually make a like, basket. I just wanted to see if there was something else we could do with it. Look at the quality of this honey. I'm certain to win the village feat prize with it. Is it feat or fate? Don't you think? I should say so. I should say so, Mr. Holmes. Of course, by rights, it is the bees who will be the victors, not myself. Alright, well, let's go talk to... We're gonna talk to Watson about something. But we've gotten a good, like, look at the gameplay. Watson, wake up. I have a surprise for you. Yes, it's picnic time. I have a surprise for you. A surprise? Yes, one worth waking up for, I assure you. Follow me. All we've got is honey, but we'll be alright. What's all this, then? It is a picnic, naturally. I see. Holmes? Yes, dear fellow? I can't help but notice that for a picnic there is a distinct lack of food and drink. Indeed, yes, I must ask for your forgiveness on that point. I was rather limited by the constraints of the machine. The machine? Yes, the machine. It is quite obvious to me that this world you and I inhabit is pure artifice, a mere sketch of a fuller work which the Creator hopes to complete one day. Haven't you noticed that there is nothing to the left of my beehives? No upstairs to my house? That I have been led by an unseen guide to perform some quite strange actions. This unseen creator tried to design a trifling obstacle for me concerning my hives and collecting a jar of honey. We're in the Matrix, my dear Watson. I completed the trial, and so here is your prize. Spring Sussex honey. Why, thank you, Holmes. You know that I enjoy having this on my toast at breakfast. It has occurred to me that you may not realize that is, I may have made the grave oversight of not making my deep regard for you clear. Without you, Watson, I would have been lost long ago. If you are right, Holmes, and we are in some make-believe world, I'm pleased that the person who created it ensured that we would be here together in such a beautiful place. We can hardly exist apart, I think. Do you suppose the unseen hand that has been guiding your path has enjoyed spending time here with us? Perhaps. I imagine it was a small diversion at least. You know, Holmes, with all this talk of picnics, I am rather hungry. Perhaps we could go to the pub for a meal? Unless the pub doesn't exist. Oh no, dear Watson, I don't think you need to fear on that count. The game has come to a close, and so you and I are free to walk off into the wider world of the imagination, where there is a little thatch-roof pub nearby, which will serve us a quite excellent cottage pie, and we can enjoy one another's company for all eternity. Come along. Hi, Chloe, welcome in. This was so cute. Do visit us another time, won't you? I will. I will visit. Can't wait. It's so cute, Chloe. It's based on Sherlock Holmes and Watson when they retire, and Sherlock is raising bees, and it's really cute. I think if I use this command, you can go wishlist it if you're interested in playing. I think it's Steam game. We'll see if this works. Come on, come on. Yes, there it is. So if you want to wishlist it, there's the link in chat. And you can always use Steam game or I think Xbox game. And it'll give you the links to those. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was really cute.